Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for clicking on the video. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. Obviously, don't make things fit. If it doesn't resonate with you, don't identify with it. If it does, feel free to like, comment, share, or subscribe. I will connect here and we'll see what comes through. It's like a roaring river, almost like you'd see in a movie. Someone uh, drowned and then gets washed up on the shore with the driftwood. There was a glowing light. I almost heard like a star in the water at the time. It was protection. Obviously, we have to catch our breath now, go through recovery. I feel my throat's a little froggy right now as, you know, grasping for air or clearing our throat in a way of speaking. We're alone, obviously. No one's found us, but we're here. We're recovering, catching our breath. There's a path. It's got some overgrownness on it, but we're following it. We're going to walk through it. And of course, it's winding, but there is a new horizon, and it's bountiful. The stamina, the strength to continue to walk the path is there, and we're acknowledging that. We're okay with that. So we'll go from there. We'll get some cards. What do we have here, Spirit? We have the Death card. Transitions. Obviously, this is a transition. You could look at that in a couple different ways with the drowning aspect in the water, where we look at it as a death experience, near death experience. Maybe that was physical or internal, our mindset, people, places, or things. Obviously, when we go through those transitions, depending on how drastic they are, it can be very drastic on the outside as well. Before I made this video, things were coming through on our whole experience here is to, validate our experience. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is what's going on inside. Obviously, it's going to be reflected on the outside. And let's just say we're in a place of, lack. We're going to keep experiencing lack. If we're in bad relationships and we're working out of a wound, we're going to keep experiencing those kind of things. It's validating our experience. Our experiences is our energy, our emotions in motion. So it's validating our emotions. And that's why it's tough to get out of those places. I don't want to go too off track on that one. But so yeah, we could have physically experienced something, or it's more of an internal experience that we went through. Our mindset and obviously our external has changed naturally. And the star, I'm pretty sure, was in the water, was a guide or spirit there along your way. Of course, they always are. May not always seem like it, but they are there. Justice reversed. Imbalance. It's It's normally how these things happen if we don't take action. Almost kind of like a tower moment in balance. When we get those hits like, hey, I should get out of this situation, or I should move forward, or I want to do this, but I'm scared. And deep down, it's like a rooted manifestation or something. And internally, our soul knows that we can. Maybe spirit or our guides do as well, but we're too afraid to go after this passion or this goal. Also, if we're in a bad relationship and we're staying out of fear, due to comfort and stability in return for very toxic environment. Same thing with work, family, etc. And we don't take those moves because we're afraid. We're afraid both those ways, whether a goal or a relationship, stability. They're going to rip us out, and it can feel very painful and like a death. It is a death. We're losing control, and that control is utilized for safety out of fear in some way, shape, or form. Which we all do that. It's not knocking anyone. And going through these transitions feels 10 times worse than what it was. But on the other side, we have the Sun card, authenticity. This other card fell out, which we'll use next. Authenticity. So either or that I was mentioning, the two different storylines there. Being in that bad relationship that is holding us back from being ourselves, or we can't be ourselves without repercussion, or anything that we do that is ourself is reprimanded or neglected or knocked down. That's holding us back from our true fulfillment, which in our authenticity, we generate a different kind of energy and things really flow. Versus creating this like bubble and stagnation and resistance. You're going to see a lot more of validating that experience. Same thing with our goals or our ambition. When we get out of that place of fear and we have that confidence or that trust in ourselves, the divine, universe, God, source, whatever you want to call it, it propels us and it paves the way, that path for us to get to whatever that manifestation is, that dream, that desire, that goal. Our next card was Six of Cups, nostalgia. Just looking at that word in general. We're going to be looking back on our old life. I often say it's the only thing we ever knew. And it's a tough place to transition from, especially if it's been a complete upheaval, derooted everything. Picture, I don't know why it's coming to mind, and it kind of goes with this death card, this tree. It was uprooted and it drifted in the water and it landed on the bank. And now it's going for its source of energy, and it's going to have to root itself somewhere new. It was very structured and stable, where it was before, and let's just say like a landslide ripped it out of its mountain bank into the water, and it drifted down a raging river and came up along a bank, and it's grasping for nutrients, stability, which when we look at the nostalgia aspect of the past, we had that, and that's what made us comfortable. And a lot of times when we go through these things, we seek things like the past because it was proven to supply these nutrients, whatever they may be, of comfort, stability, peace, even though it was kind of built on a falsehood because we weren't in an authentic place. We thought it was because, like I said, it's all we ever knew. But we're rebuilding in a place of we are the creator, and we don't fully know who truly we are or truly what is going to fulfill us at times. And we are pulled back a lot to the past because like it's comfortable. We knew it and it was proven. And this is also where we can get into a little bit of self-destruction patterns, like let's say dating or a relationship, and we're just trying to fill a void, and not necessarily because of codependency, could be, and not codependency in a way that you're a stage 4 clinger. It is uh, what we were always accustomed to: someone being there, someone to talk to, someone to lean on, someone to help with the bills, the chores, uh, support us, even though it may not have been a fully supported experience, but be there if your car breaks down, you're sick, they can take the dogs out, basic things like that, which is a difficult place to live if we leaned on that a lot, which I understand it is very beneficial to have such a thing. But fully coming in to this place has its benefits that can't really truly be explained other than through the individual themselves. Five of Swords reversed, reconciliation. You look at this with self. We have to be patient with ourselves. Again, getting chills, but I was going to say I don't know how heavy the transition is, the death experience, but depending on the extreme, no matter what it is, small or large, there's a lot going on. And I've mentioned before in other videos of how our body is, it's its own little clock. It's programmed to react certain ways and to experience certain things. And when we're going into a complete unknown, it's probably going to have a lot of different pains and feelings that there's a lot of purging and releasing of toxins that were been built up for a while just from our environment and our experiences, but also this type of like anchor that's trying to anchor itself back into this old space of what it was used to. This could be repeating cycles as well, toxic cycles, because it's what it was used to. Releasing all that and building anew does take a bit of time. I'm not saying years and years. I'm just saying we have to be patient with ourselves and understand that, listen, it's not just what I see out here. There's a lot going on in here too. And I have to give myself a chance to catch up, talk to myself, and really try, and also, during that process, figure out what truly does matter to me. We're coming into Mercury retrograde here, and that's a great time to do it. It's going to happen inevitably, but it's to keep the mindset open that there's a lot more going on than just our current emotions that we understand, I should say. What else do we have here, Spirit? The path came through. Going back to that path. King of Swords. Rational. I'm just going to go with the focus, like I just talked about, of being patient with ourselves, being rational. That, yeah, I'll speak from my mindset here that when I go through things like this, I want to rebuild as quick as possible. And I think it's fair to say a lot of people would, who wouldn't want to clean up a mess and get back to that place of comfort. And it doesn't always work that way. You have to come from a rational mindset that we got to give our body time. There's a lot more going on than just on this, how we see the external. Let's just say we made a bad bet, I don't know physically, but with someone, and invested a lot of time and money and things like this, and we're changing now. We're leaving that, and we lost a lot. Now we have to rebuild, and that rebuild, we want it to happen instantly or quickly. We want to get back to that cushion or that bubble or whatever it was, and it has to take a bit of time. And it's not so much the external; it's on us. And I hate hearing that oh, it's still you holding something up. And I'm not saying you are, but keep an idea on our minds, our thoughts, and our emotions. And if we're just constantly, it's coming back to this all we're doing is validating our experience. So if we're in this place of lack, sadness, misery, deception, I don't know why that came through, we'll continuously validate that through our experience, through people, places, and things. And it's not the easiest thing to turn off when we're in a place like that. So we have to navigate our minds on our own. Everybody's different, how we think and process things. And by doing so, it'll speed up the process to validate your experience, the one that you want to experience and will. One more card here, Spirit. Naturally. The Hermit reversed. Isolation. This is normally what would take place. I shouldn't say normally. Sometimes we can be a bit destructive. I'm just going to use the relationship as an example. We just got out of one. Let's fill that void. And by doing so, that's going to prolong the experience if we needed to heal something, which naturally we probably would have. That relationship showed us something that was a wound that maybe we needed to process and heal. And then come into that authentic place, boundaries, self-respect, confidence again, being ourselves and not molding ourselves to have someone fit in a void that we have at that time. There's a lot of introspection that can take place during this process. I think pretty sure that's the word on the other side. And again, Mercury retrograde, we're going to do that. We're going to look back on things and process them. Don't hold yourself to these dates so tight. I know everybody just wants to know, but when we do, we kind of, I don't want to say give up, but we just sit there and wait. And I don't, what's the word? Support that. Of course, we need to take time, but when we just give up and wait, why do we want to go through more pain if we can move through something, if we can heal something, if we really take the time to go down, write down everything how we feel, and whatever that word is, look up the opposites and say, okay, that's where I want to get. How do I do that? Well, I can change all these things in the external, money probably, or a partner. But what can I do inside when I don't need those things to feel this way? And that's where we start. And that's how we really get into this place. I'll leave it there, guys. I wish you all the best. If you like this, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you later.